Hi everybody, it's Jessie Rhines, yoga therapist and yoga instructor, Evolutions. And a few of you have requested a gentle flow, and I'm grateful for that because I need it too. And so I'd like to get us just right away to the mat to experience gentle movement, nurturing, and a sense of giving ourselves a gift of self-care in these really challenging times. So whether you're feeling really sticky and stuck and unmotivated and you need a little movement through the energy channels, or you're feeling really spun up and anxious and in the head, and you need some grounding, or both, because those two often live together, let's get out of our heads and into our bodies. So come to a comfortable seat. You can find Sukhasana, like so, or more of a stacked Sukhasana or half lotus, or Virasana, hero's pose, or drop into a deeper Virasana. It matters not at all. What matters is that you're comfortable and that your spine is able to be long. I recommend several breaths in and out through the nose on the inhale and mouth on the exhale. Through that same loop again and again for a few times if possible. Even a lion's breath with the tongue out. Let's take two more. Even a growl, or horse lips. Just to feel a little bit of skull shining, a little bit of effervescence, a little bit of upward moving. You might call that like a mild dizziness. It's actually a really positive thing. The beginnings of an invitation up. And then from here, I'd like us to right away start a long breath moving the diaphragm. A long breath that slows down from its typical pattern. So there's a few tricks there. One is to inflate more on the inhale. One is to constrict the throat, especially on the exhale, so that you're hugging, so that the whole thing lasts longer. Another trick is belly button into spine, so you're getting every last drop of breath out, out, out. And then you're ready for a fuller inhale. Big full inhale. Slow as possible exhale. And empty, empty, empty at the end. We all have different paces and different lung capacity, so be with you for two more. Big belly, diaphragmatic breath, stretch from the inside. Empty, empty, empty. This next time we'll add the arms. Inhale, arms out and up. And as you exhale, thumbs to chest, chin to chest, head heavy. And right here, I'd like for you to ask yourself why you pressed play. What is it that you're seeking? What is it that you're here for? What is it you want? What is it you need? What is it you want more of, not less of? Find a word. Or an image. Know why you've come. And then the next time that you exhale, Let those hands come all the way down to the mat. We're gonna come to cat-cow. I want you to keep your inhales and exhales as they were, very, very long. But as you inhale, just allow the belly to drop. And you can look up as much as you'd like to. It's not really so important. As you exhale, round like you're trying to hug your shoulder points in front of you, wrap them around like a cloak. And we just move like that. The eyes can close once you get the pattern, and it becomes a matching game. So this is the exquisite attention to detail that's needed. As you exhale, curl that tailbone like it could touch your nose, touch your nose, touch your nose. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. You can let the glutes help. You can let the abs crunch. Just matching your breath and your movement. Let's do 3 more with me saying nothing. So you can feel for yourself. And then another round or 2 to add anything you'd like. So it might be scrape the barrel where you're sort of circling. You know, you imagine you're in a barrel and you want to scrape it clean. Circling hips, circling head. It might be that the hips want to come back to child's pose. It might be that you want to stick with something that's kind of sticky. You know, like sometimes there's just a spot where I really need to kind of floss. It might be bending one elbow so that forearm drops to the ground. Sometimes I know that just is exactly what my body needs. I'd like for you to not overthink it and just do it, just deliver it. And then from here, we'll come back and I'll face you so you can see, thread the needle. I will mirror you. I'd like for you to let your left arm come out and up to the sky on the inhale breath. So it might require a wider stance of the knees, it's your call. And as you exhale, we're just gonna thread that needle through. The elbow might come to the ground, or it might be the shoulder, it might be the ear, and we're going right back up. So it's as though the inhale is pulling that arm to the sky. Like it takes no effort from you. And the exhale, with its downward moving energy, pulls you into this twist. Spine is long. Let's find 3 more. And where the moving meditation comes in is that you're matching. So it's hard to think about other things. When you start to exhale, the movement dives. When you start to inhale, you open and stretch. And then this next time that you are down, I'd like for you to stay there. And then I'd like for that left arm to reach a little further if it can, and the right arm reaches up to the sky. And then from there, maybe to the low back, maybe to the crease of your left hip. It matters not. Some of you might like to let it hang in space or stretch to the ground overhead. And please take 3 breaths. Inhale to inflate this twist. Imagine me pulling your hips back. Imagine your side body long, your armpit open to the sky. Wring yourself out of that which is not helpful, that which is not in support of your health. Wait for an inhale to reach that arm back up to the sky, and then exhale that hand down, and then start to pull that left arm out. And feel. And then of course we'll just do that same thing on the other side. So we're going to reach that right arm out and up. you exhale, slide it through. You might imagine you're moving through molasses. I know I say that a lot. It can really help to slow me down, especially if I imagine it's very heavy or sticky. And then I create a little resistance, helpful for the muscles, helpful for the musculature. Get a little more heat. Let's take 3 more. You might notice that you don't nail it every time, right? I noticed that all the time. I noticed it just then. My breath is faster than my movements, or my movements are faster than my breath. Just keep returning to the intention to match. Finding that spine long. The longer an object, the more it can twist open. And then the next time that you're down, we'll again slide into a stillness. That left arm reaches up. It can open, hang in space, circle the wrist, bring it to the low back or to the opposite hip. Every time you inhale, maybe you imagine the spine got longer, and every time you exhale, can you go just like 1/2 millimeter deeper into the twist? Again, you might prefer to reach that arm overhead, or maybe you took a few breaths with each one. Breathing is the movement in this pose now. Last breath. We'll inhale that left arm to the sky. Exhale and place it to the earth. And inhale to push up. Feel. From here, I'd like us to find our downward facing dog. So the hands will open really wide and your toes will tuck under. If you'd like a little more heat, you can let the knees hover and hold there for as long as you'd like. If you're ready to come up and feel a stretch, you can do that right away. And just pedal it out. Get into those calves. Circle the ankles. Shake the head. Open the hands really, really wide. I also like to kind of lean both hips in one direction. Side body stretch. Lean those buns in the other direction. You can certainly lift a leg, come to tippy toes, whatever feels useful, fruitful. You can walk the hands to the feet or the feet to the hands. You can tuck in your clothing like I'm doing. Coming in and out of the work of dog. Let's take 3 breaths like that, please. Open the hinge of the jaw. Open the armpits wide. Knees can certainly drop if they need to. And then on the next inhale, look forward. And exhale, step or walk your feet forward. Let's inhale to come halfway up. And I'd like for you just to hang here. So let's reach our arms out and clasp the hands behind you at the low back. You might wander the feet a little wider. Your knees need to be as soft as you need them to be. You could even have your ribs resting on your thighs. If the legs can straighten and it's not too much of a strain on the hamstrings, fine, but don't overdo that. Listen. And then we'll just take a little sway side to side. I'd like for you to get that fist away from your low back, whether that means just enough for me to slide some paper, or whether it means it can come up inches or inches more or inches more. It matters not at all. We want to just be loose and feeling the shoulders and feeling the release of the 10, 11, 12 pounds of the head, the hamstrings, and above all, some curiosity about what it feels like to breathe into this shape on this particular day. Let's take one more big breath in.
and out. Fists to low back. Let the hands break apart and trickle down the outsides of those legs. We'll inhale and just trace your fingertips up towards the shins, maybe towards the knees, matters not. Whatever feels like a 90-degree angle, I'd like for you to hold there. A little bend to the knees, crown away from hips. This is just to stabilize our blood pressure before we come up. The next time you inhale, reach the arms out and to the sky. And then we'll bring the hands to the heart center. Please just close the eyes and feel. Feel the heartbeat. Feel a particular swirling or moving in the body, and don't shut it down. Let that happen. I'd like for us to do 3 salutations, nice and slow, being with the body. The next time that you exhale, let the thumbs trace down, and then the following inhale, we'll reach the hands out and up. As you exhale, you'll dive, knees as soft as you need. As you inhale, we'll come up halfway, like we've done that once. And as you exhale, hands come down, feet go back. You can step or jump and find high plank. Your knees are welcome to drop here, or you can keep yourself up. Have a sense of spreading your shoulder blades apart, pulling the crown of the head towards the wall in front of you and the feet in the other direction. The next time that you exhale, lower down, elbows grazing your ribs. You can go all the way to the ground or stop halfway. As you inhale, find a back bend of your choice, low or high, it doesn't matter. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. I'd like 3 breaths here, big breath in and out. Heavy head and out. Let go of anything that is not helpful to you. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or jump. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach out, reach up. And exhale, arms out and wide. Taking your time. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, we're going to bring ourselves back to plank, but still exhaling. Go ahead and lower down, no holding this time. Again, all the way to the floor is a choice, or go halfway. Inhale to cobra, or a little higher, your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big inhale here. And exhale. Now, a little time for yourself. Inhale, please, that left leg up to the sky. It could be straight back, and you just kind of guide your stretch into your right calf, like you're trying to step your left foot on the wall. Or you can open the hips up and maybe even bend the knee and make it about the side body, getting really long. Stretch, move, open and close. Make it whatever you want to make it, stirring, right? Letting yourself just experience. I would recommend the eyes closed, head heavy. One more inhale. And as you exhale, bring that knee in towards your chin. Drop the foot down. Guide your back foot to 45 degrees. Reach out, reach up. Virabhadrasana 1. 3 breaths in this warrior pose with your hips square. Hands can be reaching tall, or they can come to the head, or the shoulders, or the hips. Grounding through the back edge of that back foot, like you want to stretch your yoga mat longer. As you exhale, this third exhale, hands come down, the foot goes back, and we allow ourselves to float through. We're just going to do that same thing on the other side. Inhale as gently as you'd like to in the back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll keep a big inhale. Dump out the trash. Inhale that right leg all the way up. And we're going to hold that. It can be, again, square and stepping on the back wall. It can be circling of the ankle. You can certainly play with some balance if you'd like to try to get lighter on your left hand, or you can stretch and open. Make it what you need to make it. Stirring that femur bone. or sometimes just a really still stretch feels best to me. One more big breath in. And exhale, bend that knee, bring it to your chin, maybe give it a kiss. Drop the foot down, guide your back foot to 45 degrees. Bending through that front knee, reach out and up. Virabhadrasana 1. Here, 3 cycles of breath. Here, please. The third exhale breaks it down. The foot goes back. And from here, you can add that last vinyasa if you'd like, or just go ahead and lift your hips and we'll meet you in downward facing dog. We have one more big breath in and out. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, halfway up. Release. Reach out, reach up to the sky. And we have only one more vinyasa. So that was a Surya A and then a Surya B, and this one's a little different. Fold on the exhale. Inhale, halfway up. I'd like to slow it down even more. Let's send our left foot all the way back, so you're on the toes. So we get a little lunge action here, side to side. You're welcome to bring that back knee down to the earth and allow a certain surrender, a release. Or if you're looking for more strength, lift the knee up, but not just up, up and back, right? Trying to really get a long straight line in that leg. We're just trying to open the left hip is the real goal. So if that means a softer knee, that's beautiful as well. You get to choose how much sthira, strength, how much sukha, flexibility or softness. The goal is to have some of each in all of our yoga asana, in all of the poses. You're welcome to stay here on any given day. If you'd like, you can also just reach those arms out and up. 3 breaths. Exhale, hands come down. Let's inhale to float the back toes to the sky. It might look like a standing L, or you might get those toes a little higher, a little higher. Your head might be far from your right shin, no problem, or you might guide the nose to the shin. You might play with both hands down, or maybe the right hand behind, maybe left hand as well. There's a whole range here, and it really matters not at all. One more big breath, and exhale, the feet are together. Let's inhale, our butt is low. 1 breath in chair pose, just so you can know you did a chair pose today. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, the right toes all the way back. Again, little swish side to side. I'm a big fan of matching the breath and the movement here, so an inhale to the right and an exhale to the left. Your hands could certainly be on blocks, or if you don't have blocks, you can always use barbells like so. Again, the knee can go down if you prefer. Close the eyes if you're willing. Just surrender, feel into it. We're almost in our resting phase already. And then stay here if that's what your body's asking for. Or keep the knee down and reach the arms up. Or tuck the toes under, lift the knee, and 3 breaths. Anjaneyasana. Exhale down. Last bounce. Inhale, right toes to the sky. And again, it's your choice. You can play here, you can stretch here. Like my right side wants a stretch, so I'm just gonna lift my right shoulder to the front of the room, my back toes to the back, before I play with the balance a little bit. Some days it might be all about this left calf, just really trying to straighten the knee a little more. You could even hover the right foot if you'd rather not have it so high. Or you can try to open the right hip. So much to do. This is a really versatile pose is why I've chosen it. Not because I want you to look a certain way, not because there's a right or a wrong way, not because there's any striving, because you can do what you want with it. One more breath in. Exhale, feet together. Now, widen those feet And this time I'd like for you to hang, looping into grapevine arms. So locking one hand into the opposite elbow. You can swing, you can sway, release the head, close the eyes. Sometimes I feel like a swing. And I guess it would be my head that's like a little child swinging on that swing. One more inhale. And exhale will release you down. And I'd like for you to roll up very slowly. Bend your knees one vertebrae at a time. Eyes closed if you're willing. You might want to kind of sway side to side as you do that to get into this sort of serpentine stretch. Or you might like to come up straight through center like you're stacking blocks. I'd like for you to feel what's waiting for you at the top. Maybe a wider stance so you're grounding and feeling stable. Standing through the pinky toes as well as the inner edge of the foot. And letting movement flow, letting prana go where it needs to go. You're releasing what you don't need anymore, and you're finding the nadis, the channels, flowing once again to their own rhythm. That movement might have a certain rhythm, or you might start to create one, where we're going to just do one more little thing. You can peek if you need to, where we're just starting to let ourselves bend a little in one knee, and then the other. You might want to widen your feet, even as wide as the mat, or a little closer. And what we're going for here is really almost like just the arms as ropes. So I want you to imagine your hands are just knots tied, and they hit your body. You know, you're just not holding back at all. Just ragdoll, super floppy. You can even start to go a little faster if you like. Don't hurt yourself, obviously, but we're really trying to shake it all out, shake it all out. Some folks like to kind of bend their knees here and shake as well, pulsing, you know, bouncing. And then again, just one more pranic, sort of somatic experience of letting that slow on its own as though you have nothing to do with it. And feel the tingle, feel the aliveness. Be tall, but don't change too much. Don't shut energy down. Stay like that as long as you want to experience that. And eventually you'll bring your feet back under your hips. You don't even need the eyes to do this. Palms are facing down, sliding down the tops of your thighs to your knees. If you need to come down any other way, come on down, you know, with your hands. Otherwise, we're going down nice and slow. We're going to roll to our tailbone, roll to our back, and then you can rock and roll a little bit if you'd like. You can squeeze the knees in if you'd like. You can pull the knees wide to the armpits if you'd like and rock side to side. Whatever feels good here. This is our last bit of time. You might crack the toes, grab the big toes, shine the soles of the feet to the sky, happy baby. You might grab the insides of the feet, the outsides of the feet. You might bring the soles of the feet together. If there's anything you'd like, a twist or a stretch into the big X, or any other postures that you know your body wants, please take them. And at some point, find yourself ready for Shavasana. Find your palms facing the sky. We have our arms close enough to the body that we're not scattered, but wide enough that we're practicing surrender. Same cue with the legs. Heels far enough away, but not too far. And I'd like for you to stay here.
long as you like. As long as is nurturing to you. I'd like you to bring your intentions back to mind. And I'd like for you just to hear me as I share that there's a certain trinity in yoga. Coming to the mat in self-study or svadhyaya. Why am I here? What do I want to work on? And then we put in the tapas, the zeal, the effort, the work, the heat. So self-study, work, and then this last piece, which we as Westerners are not always as practiced in. Surrender, Ishvara. Have a sense with those palms facing the sky, like you are letting go of all of it, even your intentions. Send them up to something bigger than yourself, whether you call that God or nature or divinity or a higher self. It's out of your hands now. And it can be helpful to take one or maybe more lion's breaths to really let go and sink the body into the ground, knowing that your work is done. And now you'll just lie here to absorb the fruits of your practice. Stay as long as you like. Drift. You'll know when to return. Meanwhile, I'll sign off. May this practice be meaningful. May this practice bear fruit. And may the fruits of our practice benefit all beings everywhere. The light in me honors the light in you.